You said your name was Harambe? Is that right?
I'm sure you can call me whatever you want.
Okay, Daddy. Here's the deal. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of an interesting discussion. Sometimes we are back with the regular boys. We got a regular old episode. It's me, Christian. I'm with Haran, Tarun, and Harsha, and we actually have some hard-hitting topics today. But first, we're gonna catch up with Tarun and Harsha, who had an interesting movie experience where they,
maybe it was a strange experience.
No. But they're not doctors, fam. But you know, like the trick that people do, like in the movies where they get extra large popcorn and then they cut the hole out from the bottom of it. That's what I'm just guessing what happened. You guys can prove me wrong. Just tell me.
Harsha hasn't done that since like
yesterday,
2017.
Oh,
what happened in 2017?
2018, bro.
I don't know either.
Oh, that's when Harsha had the movie pass, so he was like going every weekend. Man.
Oh, is that what they call it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Harsha, how have you learned from your salty experiences?
Hey, reset the story. Wait, we should definitely say there was another person there too. I feel like this is just getting weird.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Tarun, me, and one other person, one of our friends who came on the podcast before, we watched Doctor Strange 2 yesterday. For those of you who haven't seen it, I give it a 7 out of 10. But this story is not about the movie, so don't worry about any spoilers.
Wait, can I get that one question?
Yes.
Was that higher than you rated Spider-Man after initially seeing it, or?
No, I think I had Spider-Man at a 7.5 actually.
Oh, we're just making up what you had Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but
okay. I remember. I remember. But
what was it?
It was lower. It was lower.
Bro. Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like a 6.
Oh, yeah, because I had higher expectations for.
So, why did you lie to me, man?
Huh?
Haran's the kid who fucking sits in the front of the class, and like if the teacher like misspells or
no, I remember everyone that was watching. We went to watch Spider-Man.
The teacher.
And we went to watch Spider-Man with like 10 people. I think we shared this on the podcast, maybe, but I was the only one that gave it like a 9 out of 10. Everyone else gave it like a 6, a 5.
Bro, we get it. It was your fucking villain origin story.
I got a list. I kept a list. I continue. Sorry.
Based on my expectations for Spider-Man, I was more disappointed after watching it because I didn't have high expectations for this movie because I didn't even like the first one. But now I'll continue with my story if everyone's okay. Thank you. Okay. So we were watching this movie at a theater near my house, and Tarun texted me actually on Sunday while he was buying the tickets. He was like, does this theater have recliner seating? And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure because we sat recliner for one of the Eternals and like some other movies. And he was like, oh, okay. Because last time I went, they didn't have recliner seating. And
scintillating conversation.
What the fuck? No, so we were like, then I was like, I think some of them have recliner seating and some don't. And since this is a big movie, we should be fine.
Okay.
So we go there, we get our tickets, 8:15, we show up on time. So get there, the seats are not recliner. They're these stupid red seats that you can lean back, but it still hurts your neck and you can't recline, and it's pretty shitty.
You can lean back probably 25 degrees as opposed to
that's pretty cool.
Flat.
Wait, do you guys really prefer the recliner seats?
Yeah, man.
After the option of like going to for the last 5, 6 years, it's so much better, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I don't like it. It's not really a movie experience for me. I feel like I'm at home.
We get you had a shitty childhood. Can you just let Harsha finish the fucking story?
I'm just asking questions, man. Why can't I ask questions?
Wait, so at home, do you recline and watch?
No, like I could watch like movies on my bed, like my parents' bed, like growing up. You like all like sit in my parents' bed and watch.
They don't have fucking full size mattresses.
Yeah, you lay down though, right? A little bit, right? You don't sit up straight. Do you sit up straight?
Wait, what?
Like
no, I don't sit up straight. Wait, I said I don't sit up straight. What?
Oh, so it's like watching a movie at home and you don't like that?
Yeah, I feel like I want to be like I'm at a theater. I feel like I'm just like in my bed watching a movie. It doesn't feel right. I don't know. It feels weird. Also, I feel like I'm gonna fall asleep half the time when I like that.
It's okay, Ron. Next time when you're in bed, we can make a movie instead.
Like when you watch Eternal, I legitimately fell asleep, but that was more because the movie was fucking ass.
The movie was shit. Yeah. All right. So the theater was empty in general because it was a Monday, I guess. So then Tarun had the idea of why don't we just ask the guy if there's another showing of Doctor Strange in a theater auditorium that has recliner seating? We're like, okay, that's not a bad idea. So I went and asked, and then he He was like, yeah, we have one at 8:30. So apparently auditoriums 11 to 15 have recliner seating. And this was 13, so it worked out. But he was like, oh, you have to go swap your tickets at concessions because you can't just like exchange it with me because you already scanned the tickets or whatever. So we're about to do that. And then Turin had the other great idea of what we shouldn't ask them because what if they say no and then we can't go sit at the recliner seating and then we'll be fucked and have to go back to where we were. So let's just go and check it out.
He said if they don't let you switch, then you have to pay for new tickets again.
Yeah.
And they would see us like walk because the recliner seats were on the other side of the movie theater, so they would see us like walking to the wrong one. So then they would say something, you know.
Wait, couldn't you just ask and they said no? You just go back? No.
We could have done that, but we wanted to have the option of sneaking in there and getting a seat if there's seats available instead of getting fully rejected.
Okay.
You don't like that?
No, that's not
good idea. Yeah, okay.
I mean, that was an idea. Yeah,
you're looking for
a good idea
on your own story.
So they had one at 8:30, just 15 minutes after our show time.
Okay.
So we're like, okay, we don't have to wait that long. We got in. There's recliner seatings, like the guy said. So we sat down, enjoyed some nice trailers. Had a good time.
I feel like a bad thing for
that.
And then
at this point, it was 8:50. By the way, when we finished.
Yeah, because it's like 20. There's more trailers than usual, I think, in general. So we got to most of the trailers and the screen went black. We're like, oh, it's going to be like the Marvel thing or the Coke and popcorn roller coaster thing or something like that. And then it says, please put on your 3D glasses. No. And then we're like, what? And then they showed a trailer of Avatar 2. And then it was a 3D. We're like, oh, is it just that? Or like, what? Why for a trailer? And then we were all like looked at each other, just had the same shocked face. Like, what the fuck?
Wait, and this theater was empty? Like, you didn't see anyone else have it?
No, yeah, it was fairly empty, and like we saw like some people after that like put 3D glasses on.
There was like there was two older men in front of us and like a couple in the back. Yeah, and that's all we saw. So it was like, and when the 3D glasses thing came on, I saw the guy like lean over out of his pocket and put on his 3D glasses over his actual glasses. I was like, "Fuck, man! People are actually prepared for this. That means it's a 3D movie."
Wait, but don't they have like the thing outside the theater?
They didn't have that. They didn't say.
What the fuck? People bought their own 3D glasses.
No. I mean, like, I mean, when they bought the ticket, like they probably got the 3D glasses, but outside
I know, but
the
usually they hand it out like. Yeah, usually they hand it right outside the theater. Yeah. Oh, damn, that's crazy.
So we're like, what the fuck? So then we ran outside, and then we saw an auditorium right across from the one we were just in, and we were like, it was 8:45, so just 15 minutes after the other one. So we're like, okay, we'll go in there, and we were like, oh, this is on the same side of the theater, so it should be recliner seating because the guy said 11 to 15. We go in there, it's the same fucking red stupid seats from 8:15. And no one else was in the theater, so just us, which was pretty good. We got to like comment out loud and
that's cool.
We just laugh the whole thing, but laugh fully.
But yeah, we wasted 30 minutes basically, and we rewatched the same fucking trailers. We watched Avatar 2 trailer in 2D.
Wait, how was Avatar? I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I'm actually curious about that.
I didn't get it.
You didn't get it?
Like, I mean, it didn't say anything about the story.
Oh, okay. Like a teaser.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did they like just show Pandora and that was it?
Yeah. Okay. They show Pandora, some motherfucker swimming with like a whale or something. I don't know. And then that's it.
True. Underrated movie. That's all I'll say.
You mean the highest grossing movie of all time is underrated?
Second highest, I thought. Right?
It's Endgame is highest now.
But it's pretty close.
I'm sorry, it took 10 years to.
I feel like it's
pretty crazy.
I think it's overhated. I guess that's why I call it underrated.
Shut up. Speaking of overhated, I don't agree with that. But Tarun had a great. This man's full of great ideas. He had a great idea that we would all watch the Kanye documentary because he, I think, watched it before us, and he was like, "Okay, this would be a good talking point." Would you like to introduce the? I mean, you could just give a synopsis or whatever.
Yeah, I can give a brief like gist of what it is. So basically, the Kanye documentary is. It's a compilation of like 20 years of Kanye's life, basically from when Kanye started as a producer in Chicago all the way up to like what he is now, essentially.
Yeah.
And it's made by this guy who originally was like a comedian, but he kind of like dropped out of that to become like I guess like a videographer, a documentarian.
Yeah.
Just because he was
both are from Chicago.
Yeah, also from Chicago.
Yeah, they were homies.
Yeah, just because he was so kind of like enamored and mesmerized by Kanye himself, even like back then, like when Kanye was essentially like a nobody. I mean, like he was making a few beats here and there, but this is like back when I mean, I think Kanye was making a little money, but he wasn't like anything
Yeah.
what he is today. So yeah, it literally follows like every trial tribulation that the man's went through in his life, going from like producing, moving to New York, producing some more, but trying to become a rapper. And people felt like, oh, Kanye, he's a producer, he can't be a rapper, So all this struggles he went through to try to get a record deal, and moments where like he first met people like Jay-Z, Pharrell, moments where he started creating like some of the most well-known songs in the history of the planet. And you also start to see you see his like super rise to stardom, as well as his kind of fall when he starts to, I guess, battle a little bit more with like mental illness and that type of stuff, and go I guess, for lack of a better word, kind of like crazy, I guess. Yeah. So what did you guys think?
I think it was insane. Some of the footage they had was insane.
Yeah.
Like they had like this footage of like Pharrell first reacting through the wire? No.
Through the wire.
Yeah, through the wire, I guess, like some context. So Kanye got in a really bad car crash back in like 2002, 2003. And he like pretty much like fractured, almost like pretty much broke his jaw, I think. And he was like, his mouth was like wired up, and while in the hospital, like he was still grinding to finish his album, and like he came up with the song Through the Wire and like, rapped it while his mouth was wired up. And so like he played that song for Pharrell, and like Pharrell fucking lost his mind. The dude literally left the room. Like, what is this? That was cool to see. Just like him with his mom. Like his mom Donda was in the documentary a lot, and just like they captured like a lot of, like just like the relationship, the way they talk to each other, and like the way they vibed. It was really wholesome.
And that was another big turning point, was when she died.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's kind of when that was like the first part of his downfall, and then it kind of just like spiraled. Yeah, I thought it was a really good documentary. I was surprised. Yeah,
it kind of took for me like so the dude who was like did all of the shooting all of the videography stuff. His name is Kudi, and it became towards the end like a little bit more of a narrative of how he saw it from his perspective, because like they kind of grew apart, like I guess in the like the late 2000s, I would say. Like he started a family, but Kanye became like a superstar. So like you never really saw any of like the Watch the Throne or Most Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Jesus Christ. There's like a huge gap in like the footage up until like he does Jesus is King, or Life of Pablo. So there's like a gap in time there. With like his marriage to Kim and like all that stuff. I love how
they did that though. They like overlapped like his family going while like Kanye is like
it's done well, but like you can tell how like it's a different perspective because he's not there.
Yeah, he's like outside looking in. Yeah, like pretty much our perspective, I guess. Like
but like not to spoil it, but like they go back to like being around each other most of the time at the end, from when pretty much he's recording Jesus is King up until, I don't want to say now, but from what they showed, it was like he was still doing the Sunday services and all that stuff, and putting out Donda. So pretty recent. I think like I actually enjoyed the way it was put together a lot. The like actual narrative story like side of it. It was kind of like, I thought it was really cool, like seeing all these people that are like legendary, especially from Chicago, like No ID, and that one part, I think it's in the first episode where I think he's rapping to Scarface or somebody.
He was rapping his album. He was rapping some of the songs on his album to Scarface.
Yeah, and he was trying to get. Yeah, and he was trying to get a feature because he was still, I think he's still trying to become an artist on Rock Nation.
Yeah.
And like that was one of the, like especially in the first episode, that was like a huge problem, was like he wasn't really signed as a producer to Rock Nation, but he was like their in-house producer, and he was trying to become like an artist. and get a deal for Rock Nation. And so he thought like, oh, if I get like one of Rock Nation's biggest like artists on a feature, like that shows them that like, you know, I'm there. So like to see people like that, and you see this, they had video of like Jamie Foxx doing like the lines on Kanye album, like that kind of stuff. Like that's really cool to see. Like those are like legendary moments that like to be able to capture that, I think is really cool. But towards the end, I didn't like dislike it because I thought it was still like a good documentary, but it was just kind of, it's very real, but it's also kind of, it sucks to see him like go down that path of like, I understand it's because of mental illness, but it also shows in the whole documentary that like he's kind of always been like that. Like it didn't just like come out of nowhere. Like his personality. Like,
it's just like his platform got bigger, and then like, more to his head, I feel like.
And to me, that just kind of resembles like the rise of like media, where you can just like do whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And there's just so much exposure to everything that, I mean, there's probably tens of millions of people like him, but like they just don't have the same platform as him.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really good. It's just the end, like it didn't ruin it. I don't think that's the right way to put it, but like it was kind of sad to see, especially since they grew apart and they were supposed to be like homeboys, and it was a little tough, but they got back together. So, you know, ended on a better note.
Yeah, it's crazy to see how many moments there were where he was just like talking about his grind, or just like rapping into like these people, and like everyone's just like in awe. They're all just like standing and watching this dude, and they're like, they have no idea like what he's about to come. Like they're all like, oh, like this guy like is talented, but I'm sure no one actually envisioned him to be like where he is in the rap game right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like getting all that footage is wild, because like I remember I watched a Coldplay documentary where they also pretty much like filmed Coldplay like before they even had like any like record deal or put out any albums, and then just like they filmed them after like throughout. I wonder how many people there are like out there that just do that. Like they just like find like a young talent and just like follow them.
Yeah,
just for the hope that
think of all the ones. Think of all the ones that like don't pan out.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a crazy commitment.
Imagine how many stories are like out there of people like in a similar situation that just like never make it.
Yeah, I know.
Especially back in the day, bro. Like, I mean, like now it's so easy to document anything, but like, you know, 20, 25 years ago, man's had to pull up with like a film camera that probably had like, you know, a few hours of footage max. And even then, that's super expensive. And, you know, like Kanye wasn't really like paying the mans before. You know? Like that guy was kind of doing like basically the guy Cootie that was like filming everything. He was doing like odd jobs on the side and stuff, but his main thing was still like documenting Kanye, which is crazy to me that he could, for that long, he could do all that.
And to be clear, he's not just some random dude off the street. He was working with like a public TV in Chicago and like MTV. So like he wasn't like totally like from ground zero.
He had
like,
a name for himself. Like people knew him
like in Chicago, like he was like known. So he wasn't just like, oh, you know what? I see this guy once at a club. I'm gonna start following around the camera.
Yeah, kind of stalkerish when you put it that way.
It was a little more like set up, but it's still an insane commitment.
Do you guys think that something like that could be possible today with artists coming up? Just because now it's so easy for like the artists themselves to put themselves out there, and there's so much exposure. Like I don't know if you still get that real effect of like having those conversations and stuff. You can just put something on your story, be like, "Hey, I'm recording with whoever today," and shit like that.
Yeah, I think it won't have the same effect. I guess it won't really have the same effect anymore, because it's just like overexposure of all these artists like trying to like get big. But I mean, it's just fair. Like you got to do what you got to do to get your name out there. But you don't even need like a cameraman anymore. Like you just straight up film yourself.
I think it's different, because I don't want to pick on people, but like say like Kid Laroi or Jack Harlow or I don't know, whoever you want to pick that can be, who's viewed as like an industry plant or whatever, right? I'm not saying they are, but that's just kind of like the aura around them, is that they were kind of like an industry plant. Like those kinds of stories, they just like pop out of nowhere. But I guess I think it would be more suited to somebody who's like quote unquote underground, who like never makes it to that like upper echelon, to where like you can actually see them go through like the trials and tribulations where like they fail, like they're not like successful to the extent that even like I don't even know what like a B-level artist, right? So like I think that kind of story, like where you're like that uber successful, like imagine the paparazzi. Like I know Kanye's had his problems with the paparazzi, but imagine if they were following him around in Chicago, like in the early 2000s. Like imagine how much of that kind of shit you would have seen like then. So I don't know if that was the greatest analogy, but I guess I'm saying that like it's a better narrative now as an underground, because once you reach like a certain tier, like just like you have no privacy almost.
Yeah. Do you think Drake's gonna have a doc too really soon?
Dude,
That'd be cool.
I'm sure there's gotta be someone out there that was filming Drake at some point.
well,
But also,
like,
he was already like established.
that's
Not
what I'm
established, but he had a name.
That's what I was thinking. Like Drake's
because all about the narrative when you think about it too, like the documentary.
Drake's quote unquote come up came like after he was done with Degrassi.
Yeah.
So, but when he's on Degrassi, like he's already like, I don't want to say famous, but known.
But he's on TV, like people know.
Yeah, like people our age, if you watch Degrassi, like you recognized him, I guess.
It's like Gambino, kind of. Not really, but
kind of
similar. Like people like
I guess
saw Donald Glover and are like, oh shit, this guy's a rapper. But
yeah.
I mean, that was my reaction. I was like, holy shit, this guy can spit bars. What's going on?
Yeah. So yeah, but I think going from like the lows that Kanye went to the highs he went to, I think that to be able to follow that whole journey would be a lot harder now.
Yeah. Osha, what did you think, man?
I thought it was pretty good. I'll be 100% honest. I didn't finish the whole thing. I didn't finish like the last part just because I was already like disappointed. I mean, I already knew I knew that part more so than like the beginning just because we were older, but I was like, I don't really want to relive this.
Yeah.
So it took me longer to finish it. I thought it was pretty cool to see the beginning. I didn't realize like how long it took him to get a date on his first album, even after getting signed.
Yeah.
And like that whole process. I just thought he made one of JT's songs, and then he was like, okay, now you're in. But
hey, this dude like had his album like pretty much finished in like early 2002 or something, and then like couldn't put it out until 2004.
I enjoyed that part of it specifically because it shows like the whole process and like the different sort of like juggling you have to do like in people, because like you see all these dudes, like all of the rappers that were in Rock Nation, especially like Jay-Z and like all these dudes, they were all like pushing for Kanye because they recognize like kind of not what he would be, but like the talent that was there. But it because they kept saying like there was like a battle between Rock Nation and I think Def Jam to trying to like get him as an artist, and they weren't really like fighting hard. It was just kind of like the boards were just kind of like they don't give a shit about it. And so like you, in order to get signed, like yes, you have to be talented, but if you just recognize that like all those huge artists were like, dude, he's talented, and the labels were just like, nah, we don't fuck with it, then that's just the end of it. Like the boards at these labels like ran all that shit. I think it's a little easier now because a lot of the quote unquote boards at record labels, especially like the labels that are owned by artists, are more artist driven. Like the huge artists, like Eminem has his own record label. Like I don't really want to talk about Thugger right now because he just got RICO charges, but YSL has their own like label, and so like it's more involved with the artists who they like pick and choose like who can get signed to their label. But especially back then, it was just like all like boards of people who were, I don't want to say they're out of touch, but they definitely were not as like on the scene with it.
Yeah, but even like when Rock Nation signed him, they're still like kind of treating me as a producer, not even a rapper, which is kind of like disappointing to hear. But I was like thinking, like, you made so many beats back in the day. Like, think about how many beats, and he probably like made like rhymes to all those beats that he made. I'm sure there's so many like good songs out there that we just never heard. Because like he just gave the beats away to like another rapper. Yeah. Another scene that stuck out to me was like when he was like in the Rock Nation building itself and just like going to like random assistants and execs building, just like rapping to them, and like they just looked like they didn't give a fuck. But he just like never stopped. He just kept on like going to each door. It's kind of funny. Yeah.
I kind of wish we had more, like, I wish they didn't grow apart. So, like, we could have seen their, like, that like obviously they showed the video, like the footage of like what he did at the Grammys with like Taylor and everything.
Imagine like like right after it happened. Like,
imagine like that era. Imagine if we had like the few years surrounding that. Like I feel like when he's like a superstar, before he has his like starts going on the decline. Like I feel like that's a whole different. I think that's not really part of this story that they tell, but I feel like it would also be super interesting to see like all the shit with like I said, his marriage and like all this crazy shit that goes on.
Yeah, or like him and Jay-Z recording some of Watch the Throne together. I feel like that'd be really, really cool to see.
Yeah. Tarun, what was how did you get into this doc and like what were your first impressions?
I saw it on Netflix front page and oh wait, actually no, that's false. I was listening to a Cody Co podcast and they were talking about it briefly, and then Noel on the podcast had kind of mentioned what we mentioned, where it's like you can gradually see his decline like over the years, even though it's kind of sparse. Like Cody and him didn't spend a lot of time together, but he mentioned that, and I was like, oh, this is like really intriguing. Like I didn't realize like the documentary was so like from like a different generation, essentially, era. You know, like from the very beginning. Like that's crazy. For like, there's probably no other documentary about any other superstar that like follows that deeply. And the fact that this man's like saved 25 years of footage somewhere and like didn't lose any of it or anything, that's fucking crazy. Especially considering like how many different like forms of cameras there were. Like definitely started on film.
That's what I was thinking too.
Like floppy disks, SD cards to like whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's fucking nuts. But yeah, I mean, I think just in general, like it's crazy to see like his character arc from beginning to end. Like, in the end, there's like, I think that was like what, kind of put everything in perspective for me. Like in the end, like one of the final scenes, Cudi was with Kanye, who's having a meeting with some like, I'm assuming like really powerful, like, I was going to say expensive people, rich people. And Kanye is just like, he's just like saying stuff. And
is this when they were like, on the island?
I think so.
Yeah.
Kanye was just kind of like saying stuff. I don't know if it was like a business idea or proposition or some type of.
Yeah. I think they were like going into real estate together.
Yeah.
And those were like two dudes who were looking to like, they were all looking to be like business partners.
Yeah. And like Kanye just went on like some weird ass like tangents, and it didn't make any sense what he was saying, but like everyone around him is just kind of like nodding because like what do you say to that,
right? And
Cudi was like, you know, this is when he realized that like Kanye was like as bad as you know it seems like online basically, and he said like out of respect he's not gonna film like these moments anymore, which just shows like how like, you know, I guess different it was, because I feel like being like that famous probably put him in like in like a kind of like a weird echo chamber of sorts. Like I think Christian, you kind of mentioned this too, but like him saying all this crazy shit and then probably getting validation from people online, like everywhere, just like made him, you know, way more you know, wild,
secure.
Yeah, wild but still like security, exactly. So yeah, that was definitely the most intriguing thing. Because you'll never find something like that again, I feel like.
It's hard because like personally, like I want to dislike him for like a lot of the choices he's made, especially in the last like 5-6 years or so. But at the same time, you have to recognize that it's somebody with a mental illness, and part of it is that they can't control it, and so that doesn't excuse everything, but at the same time, you have to like be cognizant of the fact that they can't control everything that they say or like how they act all the time. So it's like I want to be upset at him, but like, I mean, obviously, I'm never gonna be face to face with Kanye West and be like, "Yo, you're a fucking idiot." But yeah, it's just hurtful, I think. Because he'll go on these tirades and then he won't apologize, and then people will be like, "Oh, he's such a jackass," and it's a mental illness, but he's still a jackass. Like I don't really know how to say it. Anyway, it's called Genius. JEENYUH
Yes.
with a hyphen. And it's 3 episodes. They're each an hour and a half long, I think. I think the last one might be a little bit longer, but it's a good little watch. Definitely recommended. But
Yeah.
because they were episodes, they didn't have any ads. Then this is episode with an ad. So we'll be right back.
That's poor from you.
Hey,
You should have said because it was on Netflix, there's no ads.
okay, fuck it. We're taking an ad break now. Welcome back, everybody. I don't think I introduced this at the beginning, but we are going to have, it's not a game show. It's more just like a show. Great explanation. It's a copy of what is very popular, but we're gonna call it. We're gonna be the SpunkBank. That's what we are. And we're 4 spunky
Don't
guys.
say that.
No.
That is not me. I'm not part of this.
There's no other. I tried like for 10 minutes trying to come up with a name, and that was the best I could do.
We'll take it.
So that's who we are.
The Spunks.
Yeah.
Should we introduce ourselves? Everybody?
Yeah, to your fellow spunks, who are you? Great. Everybody's here.
My name is.
My name is.
Wait, should we before we?
Yeah,
should we just-
okay, fine. I'll just cat's out of the bag. It's a Shark Tank rip up, whatever. So we each have our own little product and idea or business or whatever the fuck you want to do. We gave some like ground rules. We're gonna do a pitch or whatever, and we're gonna try the best we can. Honestly, I've seen 1 episode of Shark Tank my entire life, so it's gonna go very well. But we have an order of who's gonna go, and we're gonna kick it off with Mr. Dr. Tarun.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Indeed.
I'm out.
Wait, are we allowed to play like the music that goes?
I don't think so.
Okay, because like when the contestant walks in, it's like dun 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 dun.
It's okay. I'll find.
Are we also gonna do like
something.
post interviews too, or just like Barbara was a bitch?
No, I'll put some music behind.
Okay. Hi sharks. Hi spunks.
Indeed.
My
I'm
name
in.
is Tarun Nadapali, and I'm the founder and CEO of See My Cret.
What?
See My Cret.
I'm in.
I'm here seeking $1 million investment for 1% of my company. Now, we all know that big tech companies like Google and Facebook know more about us than we do ourselves. The question is, what do they really know? This is where See My Cret comes in. We're the world's first website that lets you pay to see anyone's search history, texts, or any other secrets about them hidden in their data.
Okay.
Remember when Target knew someone was pregnant before her father knew? This is the same concept.
Roll Tide.
Want to know what kind of porn Haran watches? You'll be able to find out now for a small fee.
I'm in.
Want to know what OnlyFans models Harsha subscribes to? Well, now it's possible.
I'm in.
I'm so in. I'm far in.
I'm ready for the Q&A section.
Okay. So how would you? What I'm paying for? What would I get out of it other than just a stake? Is there like a monthly subscription to this service, or how would you go about maintaining an income other than ads?
Okay, so I was thinking it's more like a case-by-case basis. Or not, it works like a case-by-case basis. So, like, let's say you want to find out something about somebody. You would type in their name, and then there'd be, like, categories, like sexual orientation, other random data things that you wouldn't know.
Random,
from it could be for anybody, by the way. It could be celebrities.
Is it like I want to know what Haran's porn search is, so that's $10. But if I want to know what Harsh's porn search is, that's like $15.
Yes,
Or,
and in fact, we're even building out a feature right now for crowdfunding. So you know that scene in the interview where Eminem was gay?
Yes.
Yes, I do remember that scene.
So I was thinking we could have like a. Oh, sorry, not I was thinking. There's a feature. There's a feature where everyone, if they want to find out like Eminem's real sexual orientation,
I see.
we can all band together.
I like that. That's good. That's good.
And all the money goes to, or no, sorry, we take 50% of any
Crowdfunding.
like of any transaction that's gone
okay.
through our website.
So it's like, is there like a factor per person that like you have like on all people in the world right now? So say like, because you're saying like how like harsh information is worth more than mine.
Mm-hmm.
Like how are you determining this? Like, is it just like
Yeah.
What
So
do you have to do to back this? Yeah.
So we have I hired a few clout analyzers.
Okay. I like it.
And they analyze your clout, and depending on the clout multiplier, that defines how much.
Haran, I think it works on a general supply and demand. You know, just like any good business. I think it works on because Harsh's porn is more intricate and more needed in the world. It costs more.
Needed in the world. Are you talking about his porn search or his porn?
Oh, I'm sorry. His searches, though, they are also.
I don't know if somebody used the word intricate or describe it. Mad.
So when you're doing this crowdfunding, does the person that you're crowdfunding for have to sign off on it, or would you a certain amount is just open?
I'm glad you asked that, because actually, the person that we're crowdfunding for has no idea. But because here's the thing, right? The way we get this data is by buying it from Google. So it's a very expensive business, you know.
That's why it's only in 1 million for.
Yeah. We need a lot of money.
How many other investors do you have right now?
None. It's just me. I built this from the ground up.
Oh my god!
Yeah. I started selling my own secrets, man, and that was I some people mortgage their house. I told people I was gay for $100.
We love an entrepreneur. So how would you deal? Say my wife, her secrets were sold on the web, and she goes to sue you in a court of law for defamation or libel. How would you handle that case?
She can't.
What would your defense be?
That's his defense.
No, because realistically, I'm going to Google, man, and I'm licensing the rights to Christine Klein's information. And so because I licensed the right, I own her data.
Wait, what?
Data.
Okay.
So if she comes at me like this is defamation, nah, fam, it's the truth. Look at you, you're kinky or something, and then she'll be like,
I got one final question before we get to our decisions here. What's to say if someone doesn't just put all their money to find secrets about you, so they can overthrow you in this business? Like how reliable are you as a head of this company?
The good thing is, because I am founder and CEO,
you'll know everything.
No one can buy my data. No one can buy my data.
I like it.
So, in fact, I'm safe.
I would like to open the bidding.
I have another question, actually.
I would like to buy Harsh's question.
Allowed. Granted.
So you mentioned that you mentioned that you're gonna get all this info from Google, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
What if I use Bing?
No, that was part of my agreement, you fucker.
Actually, what you may find out is that a lot of these tech companies, they actually share their data to make each other better. Yes.
Oh.
And so we buy from the data conglomerate of all of them as a whole.
But that's also why yours is more expensive, because it's hard to get, because you use Bing like an idiot.
That may or may not be true. You spunk.
We
Thank
spunk. All right, well, let's mull it over. Haran, you start.
I start. You start. You already.
I'll start.
Okay.
Turan, let me tell you my secret. I'm out.
What?
Oh,
Wait, why are you?
You know, that's a
Oh,
good
you
thing
eat
because I
I
knew
just
that
wanted to
before I
say
came
the
in here.
secret part. So yeah, I just wanted to say that.
I will match your offer. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying here, but I will. Whatever you propose, I'll do that. Yeah, 1 million for 1%. I'm all
Okay.
in, baby.
If it's all right with you, I'd like to hear from the other spunks. Just to
No, wait, mine's conditional. Like, if you say now, yes, now, or I'm out.
now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Christian, say it quick.
No, I mean, you gotta give him an answer. I'm respectful of my fellow spunk.
But Christian's not looking at the good offer, so I mean,
Well, because it is exactly what I asked for. I'll say yes.
let's fucking go. Suck my ass, Christian. All right, you can still give
My
your
offer is that I buy you a firewall. That's it.
What?
You know, Trent, I think we're gonna make great business partners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great summary.
Great summary.
All right, next. D spunk, he spunk, we spunk. Harsha, please make your way to the floor.
Don't.
Thank
Oh,
you,
what's that
Dr.
large
Don't.
clapping noise?
Don't.
Is that Harsha when he walks? Oh.
Don't.
thank you. Hello, spunks.
Indeed.
My name is Harsha, and I am the founder, CEO, co-founder, and co-chair of a company called Jumpsuit. Capital J, capital S. Don't forget it. This company
I'm hard.
is going to change the world and travel as we know it. I recently, before I made the company and the product, I recently, unrelated, bought a suitcase weighing machine off Amazon
Okay.
for
So-
no fucking reason.
So a scale.
Yes, but it was a suitcase.
You mean like the one
specific
where like you can like
where it
wrap
hangs off the
Yeah,
handle?
yeah. Got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep, thank you.
Yep.
Please no more interruptions until I finish my pitch. Thank you.
Spunk
Be
beat.
more clear. Be more clear then. Dickhead.
Huh?
I'm out.
Good. Let me continue.
I actually knew he'd go out. Paid $100
Yeah.
for that.
Shut up.
I'm back here.
I'm asking for $5 million for a 10% stake in my company. This is just starting out. You get more stake than my secret. We've all been there. We've been at the airport scrambling, trying to get to that 40-pound or 50-pound limit on our suitcases. Removing random food, random clothes, random chocolates and Xboxes and Wii's we have to take to India, all that BS.
Yeah,
we removed it,
I've been there.
paid the extra fee, move on. Waste of time. We try to put suitcases on our weighing scale, but the suitcase is too big. It hides the number on the weighing scale, and you have to look over and peek over, do that shit. You have to go borrow your friend's scale, suitcase scale. Is that specific enough for you? Spunkaron? Yeah, that one.
Well, if
You
you're
go borrow
tall
that.
enough, you don't have to look around inside. You can actually just see.
No, but it's covered. The number's covered because the suitcase is like really big. So yeah, let me continue.
No, but you can always see the
Okay.
number if you're really tall. Man.
No. And so you borrow your friends, and like that's just hard to use, and you need to give it back. And like, what if they're traveling at the same time? Then you're fucked. Sorry, you're fricked. Sorry to you.
What the fuck?
Okay.
So my product, Jumpsuit, like I said, will change everything. This using free body diagrams and physical technology and microfibers. We have implemented sensors in our suitcases that detect the compression, suppression, and depression of the sensors to figure out the weight.
Depression.
To figure out weight of the items. Normally, so suitcase, you already know the empty weight, like how much it weighs empty.
Right.
So it's like maybe like 5 to 10 pounds. Every time I put in something in, the sensors will calculate the weight depression change of the depression, compression, suppression. So
I'm
I put in
impressed.
a pair of pants. I put in a pair of pants. That weight changes from 10 pounds to a whopping 10.1 pounds.
Who the
There,
fuck is
and this weight is displayed on the top in the where you pull the handle to go up.
Okay.
This way, you will always know how much your suitcase weighs before you get to the airport, and they have different scales than the ones you use at home.
Okay.
And you'll skip the lines of your check-in and just go right away. In fact, your suitcase weight will be so precise that I've gotten to deal with airlines so that you can just take your check-in bag and put it in the carry-on because they know what's going in there.
Wait, even if it's a really big bag?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Okay,
accurate.
Okay.
Move those carry-on bags to the back.
The peasants.
We've also starting to implement this new feature. Allows for a screen on the suitcase. Your screen is opaque on all sides, so it's a waste of space. We need to put a screen on there. It will tell you exactly what item is where in your suitcase based on the diagram.
Oh, okay.
Because before you put an item in the suitcase in the first place, you can register the item with your suitcase, and then it would calculate the weight. So then you could, on the screen, it would order your items by weight from heaviest to least, and then if you need to take out something to meet a certain limit, you can just take that specific item out. You know where it is. You don't have to unpack all your work you did before you go to India and give chocolates and Wii and Xbox to your family members.
Okay.
With that, you can jump the line, and don't forget your jumpsuit. Thank you.
Nice.
So, if I'm traveling in a hot climate, right, and some of my suitcase contains liquids and they evaporate, will it actually account for the change in weight, or do I have to open and recalculate, redepress, reimpress, recompress in order for it to know that the weight inside has changed?
Thank you for asking that question. When you put it in travel items like your sunscreen, lotion, soap, or anything that's not a solid,
Yes.
we have a separate way traction.
Why are you walking like this? It's like a flight attendant, bro. What the fuck is this?
You have a ounces bar. It looks like a tube you use in chemistry. You can see how much it is. If it's evaporated, it'll go down. It'll have a threshold there. You can see, I want 10 ounces of stuff. It'll have it. Anything above 10 will make it red. And then you know that you have too much liquid in your suitcase for whatever reason. If you need to pee, you can pee in the suitcase if you have space. No one will know.
What kind of tolerance are you using for these measurements?
Tolerance?
Can
Thank you. We implement significant figures, or sig figs, in our company. We love that so much.
I would like to declare that I am out.
For our pounds, this is our primary weighing scale in the US. We're trying to expand to other countries where we have to implement the metric system or kilograms. But to convert, it's about like 2.2. Conversion rate.
I thought you did sig figs.
Yeah. So let me get there. So 2.2 is the conversion rate we're using for the conversion between the two weights. Okay. So since that is a limiting factor of a tenth, we are only providing a tenth of a tolerance.
That's a horrible tolerance, man. Not even multiple items. That's not good math. That's not good math. But what even multiple items, like multiple small items? That's not gonna be. That's gonna.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Even multiple. something.
Multiple
small items.
When I meant tenth, you didn't. Let me finish what the tenth is of. The tenth is of micro weight. So
okay.
-6.
Oh, a micro. I see. Yes.
A micro weight. So the 10 to the -6, and then you get the 10th. 10 to the -7th. That's what you get.
Oh, that's very good tolerance. I'm back. Yeah, I'm back.
So, Harshay, is that how you pronounce it? Harshay?
Just Harsha, thank you.
Harsha. So, space travel is becoming a real concern for me, because as a billionaire, I will be buying a spaceship. What if I want to weigh my stuff in space where there's no gravity? There will be no depression. There will be no suppression or compression. There will be no gravity. And so, in fact, your scale will be wrong. It will be floating. It will be empty. It will feel zero.
Thank you. So if you listen to my pitch, the sensors are inside the suitcase where it's tight packed, airtight gravity technology. So
holy shit!
Since the sensors aren't affected by the weight of the surroundings, it's just based on if things are touching in the suitcase, we will easily combat that issue. Good luck on your travels, sir.
Should we just get to the investment part?
Yes.
Any more questions? But how much? What was the original?
$5 million for a 10% stake in the company. We're currently trying to get deals with Target, Walmart, Costco, etc. However, we're still trying to get into more of the brick and mortar aspect of our product.
Okay. I would like to conditionally offer, as opposed to the brick and mortar, I'm here for the brick and morty. However, I would only offer my financial support if there's a future agreement with airlines to have an agreement where
future agreement to have
I'm trying to formulate my sentence very professionally, but it's just not working. That instead of it being a 50-pound limit, where there's a contractual agreement, so that you can make 70-pound jumpsuits, if you will, and you don't have to pay the extra fee because it's already pre-calculated that you cannot exceed 70 pounds in the jumpsuit. That's
As a frequent flyer of Logan Airport, I will look to you to help me with this. Thank you, sir.
He bought my information? What the fuck?
Now, Harsha, I will also throw in an offer. Seeing as though I have connections with everybody on the planet because I own all of their data.
I own the planet.
I know Target guy, I know Walmart guy, CEO guy, all of them.
All the guys.
So I can get you in very quickly. In fact, tomorrow, if you so please, if you have the inventory. But for this, I charge an extra fee. I offer you $5 million for 25% of your company.
Whoa.
Okay.
It's an insult, Harsha.
All right. Spunk for third.
Thank you.
My offer?
Yeah.
I actually don't want to be part of your company. I want to actually buy your anti-gravity technology. How much for that?
We use the clapping cheeks technology of Haran.
You should
I own the technology.
You should be familiar.
No, it's named after you. Not your
okay.
we don't use your likeness, just your name.
Okay, how much to buy it?
So basically, let me go into the details of that technology if you like to know.
No, I don't even want to know the details. I just want to know the price.
Okay. Oh, the price?
Name the price.
It's $5 million for 10%, but you also have to use that and then invest in jumpsuit, and then I'll give it to you.
Fuck that shit. I'm out. I'm so out. This is a scam.
So I'll be going with Christian's deal because it's what I asked for.
Damn.
Great.
You don't want Tarun's connections, man? Tarun knows everything. And
Tarun will take over the company. I don't
actually. I can see that.
Yeah.
Pleasure doing depression with you. Now, as the third spunk, I feel it is my choice and my privilege to go next.
Speaking of privilege.
Exactly, and that's how I would like to start my pitch. Actually,
No, this is good.
He's gonna sell his white privilege.
1 million. No. Okay, so as I'm sure you have never had to deal with before, as a white person looking at food, you're like, holy shit, I can't eat that. It's spicy. Doesn't matter if it's cereal, peanut butter and jelly, tiki-taka football, bro. It's fucking all spicy. So I came up with a brilliant idea. It's called Spice Your Life. You ever used one of those, you ever go to the dentist or a doctor in these post-COVID times where you have to get one of those thermometers where they just point it at your head and they tell you what your temperature is? Okay, so we came up with one of those. However, you take a swab of your food, you put it on this thermometer-style device, and it tells you the Scoville rating of that food, how spicy it is, so you know if your pale skin can deal with it. Now, it's a little gun-like thing, and it's got a little LCD screen on it, and it tells you not what the Scoville rating is, but it goes on different sets of ranges, and the ranges are 0, Eskimo, 0 Scoville rating, Eskimo, albino. We haven't really come to a full licensing agreement with the Eskimo tribe, so I think we're gonna go with albino for now. We moving on up. We go to jalapeno, which is 2,500 to 8,000 Scoville rating. That threshold is called Republican. Next, we move on to 30,000 to 50,000 Scoville, which is about Tabasco sauce or whatever. We call that cultured passing. And then we go to 50 to 100,000. It's about as much as a Thai chili pepper. We just call it Dave. Dave.
What?
And then 100K to 350K Scoville rating. That's a Scotch bonnet or a habanero pepper. It's called the chancla. And then we go to the red saving habanero, which is about 350K, 570K. You know, it's very spicy for not me. We call that the parental abuse rating. You know, that's just, you know, I don't think I should speak about that. And then we go to the ghost pepper, which is say 850 to a mil, and we call it the Sahara. And finally, Carolina Reaper level, it's just called No. It's a 1.4 to 2.2, but I would like to intricately tell you about the different details on the LCD screen when you swap the food and you put it at the little sensor we have at the bottom of the gun near the little trigger. You know, it's kind of funny. It's made for kids too. They think they're in like Call of Duty or Fortnite or whatever it is. It's the toy for the whole family. Anyway, so
I don't like that.
well, then you have problems, and you probably should have the parental abuses. Anyway, so instead of it coming up with a little symbol of like, oh, that's a Thai chili pepper or that's a jalapeno, it just kicks out a skin tone based off of the different spiciness levels. You know, as I described them, they go from descending order. Now, I would be hesitant if I didn't tell you that we did undergo a lawsuit with the NAACP earlier this year, but we did settle. But we had to change our name, and I'm legally not allowed to tell you what our name was.
Stop.
Anyway, this product is set to hit shelves in 2024.
Wait. Can I get that year again?
I think my connection's unstable.
20,000 years?
Anyway, for a measly 1945. 19.
What?
What?
Oh, when World War II ended? What do you mean?
No, I'm sorry. The cost of the product is $14.95. I'm sorry, inflation.
Oh.
You know, it got all messed up in my head. You know, I time travel and buying people's information. It's a long day. So, I am looking for a 2.2 million investment. Oh, sorry, in Great British Pounding, and with a 4.2% stake with a 10-year return, where you could earn with more future investments a greater stake in the company. And there is lucrative under the table the potential under the table deals to where we do some trafficking, like with different chili peppers and different, you know.
I think you said children.
No. I said it was
way.
fun for the whole family, not profitable for the whole family.
You said it was a toy for the whole family.
That's what I said. Fun toy. Toy's not fun.
I don't know, man.
So, I graciously appreciate your time today. I would love to stick around. However, we do have follow-up with the American Civil Liberties Union. So I kind of need an answer soon. I'm open for a few Q&A questions, but my lawyer has told me that if I'm in public for more than 15 minutes, I could be in jail. So shoot away, but with the thermometer, please. I don't need any more lawsuits.
So how much does it cost you to make?
$3.
Okay, so decent margins there.
Yeah.
Sell it for 15, make it for 3.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you haven't started selling them, have you?
I mean, who the fuck are you to ask?
Well, you said they're coming out in 2020, 2024.
Oh, did I speak incorrectly? So we actually launched the product in 2014 under a different name, but we had to go through different. We had if I'm being 100% honest with you, we did some testing on animals and it did not go well, so we had to rescind the product. It was our first lawsuit. It was groundbreaking at our company. And so we reworked the idea. We went to China, talked to them about it. They didn't help us at all, so we left. And yeah, we spent a summer in Swahili. And Yeah.
That's like, wait, what?
In Swahili?
That's a language, bro.
I'm sorry, did my internet cut out? I meant studying Swahili.
Oh, okay.
I apologize.
And did that get you guys the answer?
Actually, it really, I'm so happy that you asked that, because instead of kicking out the skin tones, it just started kicking out Swahili. And none of us, we may have studied it, but we had no idea what it meant. So we had to actually rework the entire software. We went into Microsoft Paint. We did everything we could. It was really, it was trying times in our company, but I'm very proud of all two of us. Yeah.
I had a couple questions.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
For me personally, it's kind of hard for me to relate to how spicy like one of those peppers is to another in terms of if I can eat it or not. Yeah. Is there a way for me to program it so it relates to things I've eaten in the past?
There is a trial model going on right now to where you can set ranges so that you can. It's like on your Apple iPhone when you go to these different locations and it says that you've been here before. It say that you've eaten this food before, or something in this range. It's a test model we got going on right now. We sent it to. Yeah, and so they came back with us and they told us that we're doing a great job, as they do out there in And and there's also another setting to where it will tell you just straight yes or no if you can set a threshold. So if it's over X amount of time or X amount of points on the Scoville scale, you just know not to eat it. Indubitably.
So I'll just kick things off very early. I know.
Oh, spicy! I like it. This guy.
I know the rest of my spunks are still asking questions, but I'm out. Because I refuse to give white people more guns.
Nice. I feel like he listened to 5% of that pitch.
I'm going to buy his information.
You can't.
You can't. Well, first, I want to thank you for bravely stepping out in public to do this. I think you only have a couple minutes left on this program.
I think my ankle's acting up, my monitor, but...
Okay, I had two questions real quick. Okay. My first question was, how many times can you reuse this product until like it's not going to give like reliable information anymore? Or like once you purchase it, can you just keep using it infinite times?
It comes with a USB-C battery.
Okay. Okay, my next question. You were saying that like once, like after you invest, there will be times to invest more to get a higher stake in the company. Like, what's the cap on that?
No cap.
No cap.
Yeah, no kizzy, bro. Well, it depends on the return of your investment and how much you are personally involved with our company. We really run things as a family. You know, we run everything is fun for the whole toy family. So we like to treat every individual as an individual, part of our family. And so the more you put in, the more you get out. So the cap actually is no cap right now. But if we're starting to go a little sour, we may have to rob some of your investment. Like emotionally, not obviously financially. I feel like I would be doing you a disservice if I lied to your face.
Yeah, I like the environment you created in your company. I like the whole family emphasis.
It's fucking lit.
And for that right there, you lost me the last second. Sorry, Harsha, come on.
I guess it's up to me. Can I use this to tell how hot my food is?
You mean temperature-wise?
Yes, if I'm able to eat it or not. I don't want to burn my tongue because it's temperature-wise.
That's just a fucking thermometer.
Hey, did I fucking ruin your thing by just going with data mining, you little whore? Okay, I got this. So there's a dual wield setting. So if you buy two, they like counteract each other. And instead of telling you the Scoville, it's like if you went to a paintball, range, and then you shot two colors and then made a third color. If you point two guns at the same thing, they put out like a different result, and that's a temperature, but it's only in Celsius, so you might have to do some significant figure conversions.
So is this like third temperature value like hologrammed over the food or something? Or like, where would it go if you only have two guns?
No, it actually outputs. So obviously there's not a laser coming out of the guns, but there is an invisible individual beam that like it helps to sensor with these guns, right? And it shows up on the LCDs on the guns.
Cool. And then does the $14.95 include shipping and handling?
I will make sure you are fully handled if you pay $14.95.
I mean.
Okay. Welcome to the family.
Roll Tide.
Fantastic.
And now
that's all the time we have for today, guys. Thanks for listening to the episode.
Now for you know what they say, the best thing comes last with our final spunk. Haran, take it home.
Hey there, everyone.
Howdy.
I haven't actually come up with a name for my product or my company, but I'm the CEO of that, if you will. So basically, mine came from inspiration where, a lot of us, we were students at a college campus at one point. You see people like on a daily basis, a lot of faces that we know, but we don't actually know their names. And like maybe like once in a while you saw it, be like, hey, I see you around. What's your name? And you hear them say it, but like 5 seconds later, do you remember it? Most likely you don't. Especially like a lot of faces, they all look the same, right? So, a couple months ago, doing my weekly tech readings, and I found out that Microsoft released a HoloLens glass, which pretty much like it's kind of like Iron Man. If you've seen Iron Man, like he can just like fucking like put on his glasses and just like look at shit, like put holograms up, throw shit around, all this information, right?
Okay.
So I was thinking, what if you just put those glasses on and you just recognize people's faces and they just have their names next to it and then you just know their names? That was it. It was as simple as that. But then I realized I called Bill Gates and I was like, I want to make this partnership agreement, like add this feature, like with my company. How would that work? He said that we had to buy the company.
Okay.
Microsoft is valued at $2.3 trillion.
Okay.
And that's why I'm here today. I need your help to buy Microsoft so I can implement this to make my life easier and make everyone's life easier if you think about it. Mm-hmm. You guys could pool your money together. I can get a full investment return, not a return fully loaded. He has all the data too, so it might even be cheaper with his help. So that is my pitch.
So what would you plan on doing for the other parts of Microsoft other than the lens?
I'm literally only invested in this one thing.
But you have to buy all of Microsoft, correct?
That is true, yes.
So what happens to all of those working middle-class men and women? What happens to their families? Do they starve?
They join your family, sir.
Bro, did you not get that we are a racially exclusive family?
Wait, what? I didn't get that. Wait, why?
I'm just my lawyer. I gotta go. Exclusive.
But if you think about it, you guys are technically buying Microsoft. I'm just I'm along for the ride just to, make this thing happen. So if anything, it's the opportunity of a lifetime for you spunks.
You know what they say about spunk in a lifetime? Lifetime to go.
I'll be quick here.
Quick spunk.
For a number of reasons, including the fact that I'm more of a macro hard guy, including the fact that Bill Gates has COVID today and you just called him for this idea, and even though you didn't ask him how he's doing.
Wait, I didn't call him today. Who said I called him today?
And moving on. And also, just want to say that I wish I had my HoloLens glasses now so I could remember that forgetful pitch. I'm out.
Damn.
How would that make you forget?
It doesn't even make sense. Thank you for your intro.
You said your name was Harambe? Was that right?
I'm sure you can call me whatever you want.
Okay, Daddy. Here's the deal. I just don't want to know people's names. And so I need you to tell me in a sentence or less why I should be interested.
Tell me
I guess
actually. One word only.
Oh. Yeah. Wait, so why you should
why
I
should want to know people's names?
Because
Turn, I'm gonna let you make a pitch before I unload on this spunk. I'm the spunk. Fuck.
So actually, about a decade ago, I was an early investor in Google Glass. They put the screen in
infamous
glasses.
Google Glass.
Are
Yeah.
you gonna conglomerate? Depression.
So when I invested in them, I signed a NDA non-compete. So unfortunately,
You're tied.
I'm going to have to break that NDA to work with you.
Let's go.
Well,
what did you ask for? You didn't even say that.
He wants you to buy Microsoft.
I need you to buy
right.
Microsoft. But for a man of your stature,
Yes.
I don't think that's asking for much.
Wait, Haran, if Tarun buys Microsoft, how much of Microsoft would you get then?
Dude, I'm a man with a vision. I don't care what I get paid. I just need this to happen for my life to get better,
So you can remember Stutter Guy?
Yes, I can remember his name. Sometimes you gotta remember the names of people that you wronged, so that you live with that. You live with that pain, and that makes you a better person. That's what I believe. That's what I stand for in life. And I'm sitting right now, but that's what I stand for.
That's very respectable. However, I do not like to make a positive impact on people's lives, and for that reason, I'm out.
Thank you.
No. All right.
What do they do right after the episode ends? Don't they just talk to the people after?
Yeah, sure. But
don't they the spunks just talk or some shit?
Yeah. So basically, is a great wrap up, everybody. I think everybody's product got sold. I think everybody comes out of this a winner. I do actually have to go because the lawyers are quite literally standing outside my door. The character is broken. I am going to jail. And this has to be the end of the episode. But we appreciate you guys sticking through. Hopefully you enjoyed our very narrowly direct. We worked very hard on these pitches. I want you to know that. But we work on everything we do. So if you want to listen to more of our episodes, head over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon TV, Netflix, Hulu, wherever you get your podcasts from. Head over to our Instagram @AnInterestingDiscussion. You can see all of our guests, all of our wonderful posts, video, picture, whatever you want to see. It's all there. We work very hard on that as well. And we work very hard on our guest episode that will be coming out next week. And we hope to catch you guys there. All right. See y'all then. Bye, guys.
Bye.